Hello and welcome back to our traps tutorial. We're gonna do a very quick one today. As you can see, we've got some rotating axes, two types that go all the way around and types that stop at 90 degrees and go back. Currently they are set to give you a little boop so you can do some damage. We've also got this rotating one, but this one will kill you. Blood everywhere. Beautiful. So we're in our little project that we've been using, just the usual. We're going to hit the spacebar, open up the content browser, go to Fab, and we're going to find a axe. Now you can use an axe, sword, a spinning machete, whatever, but I will leave a link to this specific axe in the description. You can choose any. It's going to go for this sci-fi axe. No idea what it's sci-fi from, but it's a sci-fi axe. So now that that's downloaded, there we go. So now that that's downloaded, we're going to create a blueprint class. We're going to right click, go to blueprint class, click actor. I'm going to call that BP swinging axe. Open that up. We're going to come to this. First off, we're going to dock this so that we can switch between our levels and our tabs. We're going to click on the add button in this top right left hand corner, and we're going to type in static mesh. We're going to add our axe. Axe. We're going to type in axe. There we go. Just like that. And then we are going to just put it out into the world. Now that's probably a pretty good size actually. So there's nothing that we need to do with that. That's fine. So we're going to go back to our swinging axe. I'm going to click add, and we're going to add a basic shape of a cylinder. There we go. Now this cylinder needs to be the root, so we're just going to move it up a little bit, and then we're going to put the static mesh underneath it. So we create this hierarchy. We're just going to move the static mesh here, just like that. So it looks like it's attached. Just move it down. So now when we rotate this cylinder along the Z, it looks like it's swinging. Swing. Beautiful. Reset those values. So we need to make a way of detecting that the player has collided with the axe. And we only really want it when it's collided with one of these little prong things. So we can add a box collision just here to the static mesh. We're just going to move it down. Now you can either make it super big, so it covers the whole axe, so if they collide with any part of the axe. But I like to, in video games, stand as close as possible before running through the axe. So I really just want it to be as thin as possible and covering this part of our mesh. So I'm just going to make that thinner, make that smaller, and then with Control D, duplicate that, drag that across, and call that. Now importantly, we need to change the name. We need left blade and right blade. How original. Although I can't spell blade. Blade. There we go. So we want to right click on them, click add event on component begin overlap. We're going to equals, and then we're going to get player character, and then we're going to go to branch, and then we're going to, first off, we're just going to call that def message from our BPI. Now if you don't know how to do BPI, then we covered those in the first episode of this tutorial series. But it's super simple. What it does is it just calls a message to whoever overlaps and sends this death message. So if they have the interface, then they receive the message. If they don't have the interface, then they don't. So that's that bit sorted. Now we need to right click, create a custom event, add custom event. I'm going to call this axe swing. Okay, and then on begin play, we're just going to call axe swing. So now we need to make the axe swing. So we're going to add a timeline. Axe swing timeline. There we go. We're going to double click on this axe swing. I'm going to change the length to 1 second. I'm going to add a float track. Right click, add a key. Make this 0, 0. Right click, add a key again. We'll make this 1, 1. There we go. Now we're going to get the static mesh component just here, and we're going to set relative location. No, set relative rotation. There we go, set relative rotation. And then from this green node here, we're just going to call learn, like that. And we're going to move this A to alpha. So press Control, grab with your mouse, then move it down. And we want it to go from -90 to 90. And we want to split this, and we want to do it the Z value just there. Okay, so if we pull this into the world, we can see what this looks like. We'll drop these 3 dots, select simulate, and currently that's what it looks like. And that's because I've dragged the static mesh out, so make sure it's your cylinder. Try that again. There we go. So as we can see, it rotates 90 from -90 to 90. So we just need to set the cylinder to be -90 in the blue already, so it doesn't look silly. And then as you can see, it moves that way. Now we need to move that back. So how do we move that back? Well, first off, let's create another custom event. We'll call this one reverse axe swing, like that. And then we'll get this plugin to reverse. So how do we make sure that it's reversing when it's meant to be reversing? So we're going to get this direction from here. We're going to drag out, and we're going to promote that to a variable. And then I'm going to drag it, delete that, and drag it out again. And we get this box that says forward and backwards. Okay. Now, if our timeline is moving forward, then once it finishes, we're just going to call axe swing on the true, and we're going to call reverse axe swing on the false. And then just to make sure that it's guaranteed to work, we're going to set the directions, this one to forward and this one to backwards. There we go. And now if we play, the axe will swing and it won't swing back wide. So we've mixed up our true and false here, so we'll go from there to there, just like that. That was silly. And then we'll just play again. Do, 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 do. And that is the basic premise of it, but let's make it a little bit better. So lift it up, we'll rotate it around. Make sure it looks in the right direction. Nope. Rotate it again. Make sure you press stop and rotate it again. So there we go. So now we've got one trap that does that. And we can just make a row of these if we wanted. So Control D, and then we've got two that swing like that. And if we turn it around a bit, do it at 180, play it again, now they go in reverse, just like that. So we'll whiz that one around. There we go. Excellent. And now if I run into them, it will kill me. That's that. So what if we don't want it to kill us? What if we want it to just give us a boop and knock us off a platform, do a bit of damage to us? Then that's perfectly fine. So we will come to the variables again. We'll create a new variable. It would be, we'll call it def. Okay. We'll drag it out, and right where we're doing overlap, we're going to get a branch. So drag it out, press B. And if that's true, then we're just going to plug that into def. And we want to make it instance editable by pressing that little I. So now we can come out here and we can select that we want this one to kill us and this one not to kill us. So now if I go here, this one won't kill us, just it will just move us around, travel through our body a little bit. There we go. But we don't want that, we want it to give us a little boop. Okay. So now if we open up our blueprint interface, call it character, we're going to call it, open it up, we're going to call launch character, and this needs a float input, call that velocity, and then we're going to come back to our character here. It should be on our left in our interfaces, and call that launch character, and then we're going to call launch character just here, and we need to do a couple of bits and bobs to wrong one. Sorry, it's this function here, like that. So we're just going to do a couple of bits to make this work properly. We're going to get the actor rotation. We're going to get the forward vector. It's not actually get, I know it is. And then we're going to add these two together like that. So we're going to add these two together like that. We're going to split this pin, right click split, and then we're going to feed the X and Y into it. We don't want to feed the Z. We don't want to lift the character up into the air. So like that. So now we're going to go back to the axe swing, and from upper actor we're going to type in launch character, plug in false, going to promote this to a variable, and we're going to make this instance editable as well. So we're going to call this boop amount, like that. And a good amount that I've found is 500. So I'm just going to compile this, go to 500, and then just going to make this not killers anymore, and run into here. So okay, just boops us a little bit. I can already see the camera's been a problem, so let's fix the camera. Go to swinging axe, good static mesh. Right at the bottom we've got collision. I'm just going to set that to custom. I'm going to ignore the camera, so that fixes that. Okay, so now we only have done the left blade, but that's fine because we can select all this. So drag your mouse, make a box, and select it all. Right click, collapse the function, and then we just need to plug the self 2 and self 3 by pressing Control, dragging them down, and plug them into A, and then we'll open this up, do the same thing in here, and then go to the select the new function here, go to the details, delete these two, makes it much tidier and nicer. We'll open this up, we'll go to rename, where are thou rename? Rename on the left, and we'll call it launch, and we'll call it boop character. There we go, he's been booped. That's that. So now we're just going to get the right blade, right click on it, add event, on component begin overlap, and we're going to get boop character again, get other actor, shove it into A, and now both blades will do the same thing. They'll boop us around. Okay, but what if we wanted one blade that was faster than the other? Make it a bit more difficult. So it's not a problem. What we do here is on begin play, we're going to grab the axe swing timeline, and then we're going to set timeline length just there. We're going to promote that to a variable. We're going to call it swing time. We're going to connect that all up, and we're going to make that variable instance editable just there. Then if we go back here, we can see that we have swing time set to 5. So we will play that, and that will then pause on this side for 5 seconds. Whereas the swing time here is set to 0. So just set that to 1. Stop this. Set that to 1. And play again. Just like that. So that one keeps swinging. That one gives you more of a delay between hand. So if I set this to 0.5, you'll see that it becomes a little bit more manic, and it only runs for 0.5 seconds. So it stops just there. There we go. So we need to set the swing time to be default 1. So select variable, go to details, set it to be 1. And that's how you increase the time on that. So the next thing is we want them to be able to rotate a full 90 degrees should we wish. So let's create a new boolean, expose it on spawn again, and then we'll call it rotate fully. Not 90 degrees, 360 degrees. God, I'm on basic maths. So we're going to grab rotate fully out, make a branch at begin play. If it's false, we're going to do the 90 degree axe swing. And if it's not, then we're going to need something else. We'll call this rotating movement. We're going to get rotating movement and set rotation rate to 0, 0, 0. Okay, but if it is going, then we're going to come to rotation rate, and we're going to set this to 180. And now we should be able to select rotate fully, press play, and it'll go all the way around just like that. Now what that means is we can duplicate this, Control D, duplicate, bring it down, so we can make other kinds of traps, so like this one, grab this one, bring it over here, that, bring it over here, put it over here, give it another rotate, like that. Now we've got a swinging axe trap, just like that spins around. And that is it. Super simple, super easy, fully customizable. You can give them a boop, you can arrange, see how much booping they're going to do. You can make sure they swing around fully, rotate. You could swap the meshes. And yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Merry Christmas to you.